Okay, so I'm going to do a quick overview of how to get Audacity installed and primarily how to get the lame encoder, which is totally lame, installed onto this into it so you can export an MP3. So I'm obviously going to click, I've searched here in Google for Audacity. I'm going to click there. It brings me here. I want to download Audacity. I can pick either one of these. I'm on a Windows platform. This is the newest one, but it's in beta, so it's not necessarily a great one to install. So I'll go with the 1.2.6. Actually, now I see that I'm running Windows 7 and I can't use the 1.2.6, so I have to use Audacity Beta, which is fine. So then I'll click on it. I've got the beta version. I can read all of this stuff. I want to install here. I want to click here, so I'm going to click there and save the file. So I'm going to save file. I recommend saving it someplace you can find it. I put it on my desktop. I actually create a folder that is called Downloads. So I usually will put it there, but I'll put it on my desktop for the sake of simplicity here. Now it's downloading. Now you can see here's Audacity for Windows. I'm just going to double click on that or click and hit run. I probably want English since the only language I speak. Next, yes, of course I read all of that. I read very quickly. Now it's going to install it. I don't really have to pay that close attention where it's installed because it just finds the right spot. I'll create a desktop icon. I can always get rid of that. And I'll hit install. Now it gives me some information to read. Because I've used this before, this isn't as necessary for me, but you may want to read it, but it's mostly technical issues. So I'm just going to hit next and then finish, and it's actually, if I can uncheck this or check it, it's going to launch Audacity. So let's see what happens now. All right, so Audacity has offered to give me some help here. I'm going to skip that for now, so I'll just say OK, and let's bring Audacity into the picture here. And as you can see, I've got a variety of things here, but basically I've got, just like any recorder, I've got a record button. So at this point I'll record. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Welcome to the Audacity intro. I'll stop it and let's hit play. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Welcome to the Audacity intro. Now that was easy. The problem is now I want to export this. So I want to export, and when I hit export, I want to select down here an MP3. Right there, MP3. And I'll name it. I'm going to put this back on my desktop too so I can find it easily. I'd really recommend putting it in that FPU folder that I recommended you create earlier. But let's do test 1. And I'll hit save. Now it's asking me the artist name, Scott Sailor. These are what they call meta tags, and these are the things that populate that we love to get out of iTunes because it gives us all the information about the artist and things like that. These are really optional for including. So I'm going to just hit OK. And now this is the bugaboo. This is where we're running into issues. It wants to find this lame underscore enc.dll. Let me show you where to get that. Now, actually, I'm back in my browser, and you can't see it, but Audacity's still running in the background. But I want this lame MP3 encoder, so I'm going to click it. Now it's telling me all kinds of stuff, and it actually gives me the directions for installing this. But I'll tell you what, they have to be followed to the exact specification or the letter of the law here, or they will not work. I'm going to click, and I think this is another problem that they run into is I'm going to click to go to the download page right now, and I think it'll take me away from these directions, so that's not a good thing either, but let's see. All right, I'm at the download page. My problem is, you know, I want to skip all of this because I'm obviously interested in free. So jump straight to the lame for Windows download. I need to look down here. You know, this for those of you that are not comfortable with operating systems and things like that, this is a problem. All right, I had to read this fairly carefully here. I want uh, I want either one of these. There's a zipped up option, and then there's one that's not zipped up. Let's see if it'll let me do the not zipped up one without making a donation. Here again, it's looking to save the file. Let's save it. This is the most important step. Save it someplace. I'm saving it on my desktop. I'm saving it on my desktop, so I'm going to click on desktop, and I'm going to click save. Here it's downloading. Here we are back on my desktop. There's that lame encoder. Now let me tell you, this is where some people get tripped up. If you downloaded the zipped file, you have to extract the file, which what you would do is right click on it and say extract all, and then make sure that you pay attention to where it extracts. You can tell it where to extract, and I'd tell it to do it on your desktop, to put it on your desktop. So I'm going to click on this. Some of y'all will double click and then run it. Hit next, next, next. You don't have to worry about this. It's going to install it in the right spot, and then install and finish. Okay. Now I'm back in Audacity, and I've still got this testing 1, 2, 3 really lame recording. I'm going to hit export again. Pay attention where I put it. It still went back to my desktop. It happened to hold on to MP3. So let's call this test 1 again. You can see I've got a WAV file that's a test 2. I'm going to see what options say here. Oh, it doesn't really have any effect on me. It would if I wanted to change the rate and quality and things like that, but that's not necessary. And now I'm going to hit save. Now it's actually held on to some of that metadata that I've put on here. So I'm going to hit OK. And let's see if it finds that lame encoder. Well, for lack of any other signal, I'm going to assume that it did that. Let's go see if we can find it on my desktop. Back on my desktop here, and look right there. There's my file. I'm going to click on it. We'll see what happens. I may have to pause. Usually what will happen is on my computer I ask that iTunes play everything. So let's click on it and see what happens. Alright, well, iTunes actually opened up. It takes a while on my computer to open up, and actually started playing this file. I'll play it for you so you can see. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Welcome to the Audacity intro. All right, so there we have it. We have a file. I believe iTunes probably pulled that into the library also. But as I go back to my desktop, you will see that I still have this file here. So now what you would do is, as per the directions on the courses, you'd initiate an email, just like you normally would create an email, and add this file as an attachment. And as I receive these, at some point I collect all of them and I repost them on our course blog site. I know that looked a lot easier than some of you have had experience with, and I apologize for that. Maybe one day we'll have a real simple solution, but the reason Audacity does this is because it avoids some legal issues that they run into if they export an MP3. I don't really understand all of those, but their website explains them. So anyway, I hope that's helpful. Probably if you ran into problems, The first thing is that you didn't install the lame encoder. The second thing that probably happened was that you weren't trying to export, and that's the key to making an MP3 is an export. And the third thing that happens often is that you're trying to import this lame encoder, but it's still compressed in that folder. So you downloaded the zipped version. In fact, up until till I made this demo right now, the only option I've ever had is the zipped version. So I wouldn't blame you, but just so you know, you'll download the zip version, and then you'll extract it. So you need to extract it completely, and at that point, you'll be able to actually go through the other steps and install it. I think once you extract it, you'll probably end up with this exe file. In fact, I'll take a look at that, and we'll see what we come up with. All right, I downloaded. I haven't downloaded yet, but I've clicked on the zip version there to be able to take a look at it. Now I'm going to save it. Remember, I said save it someplace that you can get to it easily. So I'll put desktop, save. Let's see what happens. All right, it has added it to my desktop, and here it is. Lib MP3 lame something, I don't know what it's called, but I'm going to hover over it and then right click. Actually, if I hover over it, you can see exactly what it is. So I'm right clicking and I'm going to hit extract all, and then it's saying, where do you want to extract this to? It's still, I can see here, is on my desktop, so I'll go ahead and say that's fine, and I'm going to extract it. Well, this is actually what pops up, which shows you that this is an extracted folder. It no longer has the compressed kind of logo. If I click on it, unfortunately, what I end up with is the file I need right there, which is lame underscore encdll, which is what they were asking for. The problem is that now I need to go back to Audacity, export, and it's looking for this file. So I would go find where it is. Of course, it's on my desktop, and I would tell Audacity where it is, and then from that point on, it would work perfectly. Let's click on Read Me Text and see what happens here. Yeah, that doesn't really have any bearing on us. So really, you need this. You can't click on this and have it do anything. You're going to have to go back into Audacity, and then it's unnecessary at this point because mine already knows where that lame encoder is, so it's not even going to ask me for it. So I can't demonstrate that right now, but if you remember, I got that little pop-up box. I would just click and browse around to my desktop and find that file that I need. It's telling me the name of the file, so I know what to look for, and then at that point I would click on it. It would automatically be incorporated into Audacity, and everything is good to go from that point. I hope this is helpful. I know that most of you worked very hard to try to work your way into this solution, and I hope you still have a little bit of hair and no ulcers. So take care. Please, I'll post this, and then let me know any additional questions or assistance I can give you. Take care.